Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back to the General Toasty channel for another CobraKai video. My name is Logan. Today we're going to be talking about Hawk and Daniel in Season 4 and how they might be the first of Miyagi Fang to witness Terry Silver's return. So without further ado, let's get into it. So in the previous video about Hawk and Dimitri in Season 4, I had talked about how I think Hawk will be frustrated with the less offensive style of fighting being taught to them, and combined with his actions against Kenny and his overall aggressive nature, this will lead to an argument between him and Daniel that will lead to Hawk voluntarily leaving the dojo lesson for that day. I stated that I think on his way home, Hawk will be set upon by the CobraKai students on the orders of Kreese for his betrayal. Today I wanted to elaborate just a bit more on that scene and how it may see our first two Miyagi Fang characters, Hawk and Daniel, witness the return of Terry Silver. With the trend of previous seasons, big moments like this seem to happen in the mid-season, so this is where I believe Daniel's first interaction with Terry will take place. Up until this point, Terry Silver would have already been reintroduced to the audience and introduced to the CobraKai students. He might have already begun to take them under his wing when it comes to combat and influenced some of their actions against the opposing dojo. From this point, Terry may have heard about Hawk and would imply to the students of CobraKai, Kyla the most, that Hawk's betrayal demands a response. So here's how I see that playing out. Hawk, having left the Miyagi Fang dojo after the argument with Daniel about his defensive focused fighting, would be riding his bike home alone when he is set upon by the students of CobraKai, each on their own bikes. Eventually they'll manage to overwhelm him and he'll have a minor crash. After crashing, Hawk will stand up ready to fight back. The Cobras will accept his challenge and begin fighting Hawk, who will do everything he can, but in the end, Hawk will realize when they overwhelm him that he doesn't know enough defensive karate to be a match for their numbers, and defeated, he will watch as Kyla waves a pair of scissors above his head, ready to cut off the mohawk. Cut to Daniel, who is driving home from that lesson. He will see out of his window Hawk being attacked, and he will hastily pull over and run to his defense. Pulling the CobraKai students off, he will check to see that Hawk is alright. The Cobras will step forward ready to attack Daniel, but will halt at the call of a voice and the wave of a hand from a nearby car. Daniel will turn around to see the source of the voice, and Terry Silver, without a word, will step out of the vehicle he was watching the attack in, and walk until he is standing in front of the CobraKais. He and Daniel will stare down for a minute, Daniel in shock and Terry smiling maliciously. Hawk will ask Daniel who that is, but Daniel won't reply. Without looking at Hawk, he will tell him to get in the car, not taking his eye off of Terry. Daniel will do the same, and with a last look at Terry to ensure he is not seeing things, will drive away. It will be clear to Hawk that Daniel is visibly shaken by the appearance of a man who is, at the moment, unknown to him, and he will be dropped off for the night and that episode will come to an end. The next episode will start at Miyagi-Do, where Johnny will stand alone in front of the class checking his watch. Eventually concluding that Daniel will be late, he starts the class, but midway through, Daniel enters, without looking at his class, and tells Johnny that they have a big problem. Unlike in my previous video about Hawk and Dimitri, Hawk won't have had his mohawk cut, but he is still shaken by the fact that his aggressive, offensive-based style of fighting he had found so much confidence in let him down the night before, and he questions how much of his Hawk persona will do the same. Dimitri will still be instrumental in getting Hawk to see reason, but that's all mentioned in the previous video. Here is where Hawk will begin to tell the rest of the class what happened, and how Sensei LaRusso has not been the same since the appearance of some tall guy with a ponytail. I think that because of their shared experience in the fact that Hawk now realizes how important defensive karate is, that Daniel and Hawk will train together regularly, and form what would have been before an unlikely alliance. Hawk will use what he learns from Daniel in the tournament, giving him the edge against Kyla, who has just unfairly defeated his friend Dimitri, and after almost getting his mohawk cut off by Kyla, I'm sure this will be a satisfying moment for the Hawk fans. Daniel will have to battle his fear of Terry, which will return to the surface, but that is a video for another time. With that all being said, if you did enjoy the video, consider liking and subscribing. Comment down below what you think could be the defining moment of this season, and how our characters will react to it. But until then, have an amazing day, and I'll see you in the next one.